Okay, how does this look? Does this look okay? I'm a bit low down, aren't I? Hello, welcome back to my channel. It is the final week of term and I'm going home on Saturday, so I thought to round off the semester I would film a really chill Q&A video answering some questions that I've been asked throughout the few weeks that I've been at university and anything else that you guys were wondering. I'm not sure what I've titled this video. It may be quite a clickbaity title, so let's just address that first. I am not leaving YouTube, quitting YouTube, whatever I've titled this video, but I am going to be taking my longest break ever since I started YouTube over Christmas and New Year's. I have absolutely loved weekly vlogging this semester. I've really enjoyed making those videos and it's been great to see that you have been enjoying watching them too. However, I'm not going to lie, it has been pretty intense and fitting it in with my uni work and other commitments has been quite a lot to juggle, and over Christmas I've got more uni work than I have throughout this whole semester really. I've got 3 assignments I think due in January, I've got an exam in January, I've got my dissertation to do, so I really need the time to just focus, and I'm kind of a bit here and there over Christmas too. I'm in Nottingham, then I'm with Sid, we're going to Dublin for New Year's, and whilst I'm definitely going to be posting lots of content on my Instagram and my TikTok, it doesn't really make sense to try and film it for YouTube as well. So I think I'm going to be returning at the start of January, probably like halfway through when I'm back in Leeds. So I'm really not gone for long, but I just wanted to say something about it because it is the longest break I've ever had and I have been doing YouTube for almost 6 years now. But anyway, on to some fun questions. I've got these from my Instagram story that I put up yesterday and also the comments on my last YouTube video. We'll start with quite a general one, but one that I thought was quite a fun question, and it's how has your first semester been compared to the others? When I read this question, I was like, oh my god, it actually is the last first semester I'm ever gonna have, and that's really bittersweet I think. But I've actually really enjoyed this semester. I've had a bit of a bitty university experience because halfway through my first year it was COVID, so I went home, and then second year was all online, third year I was in Copenhagen, and now I'm back on campus. So I feel like I've actually really enjoyed this semester because it's felt normal. It's been the most normal semester of university I've actually ever had, and I journaled about this at the start of the semester, and I feel like one of the reasons I'm enjoying it is because when I came to Leeds on the open day back in 2019, I don't know, but now I am living the life that I could imagine myself living when I came on that open day. I am living the university experience that I always wanted. It's just taken me 4 years to get to this point. But I think that's actually the case for a lot of people. And I think one of the reasons that this semester is so different to the previous semesters that I've had is for the first time in 4 years, I know exactly what I want out of the university experience, and therefore I'm enjoying it more because I'm just doing things that make me happy. I think in previous semesters, especially the first semester of first year and kind of second year as well, I was putting a lot of pressure on myself to basically act in a way that I thought I should be acting instead of in a way that actually made me happy. So for example, I used to go out a lot more, and not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's just not my favourite activity. But I thought that's what I should be doing as a uni student, so I just continued to say yes to all of those kinds of things. Whereas this semester I feel like I know exactly what does make me happy, so I've found a lot more of a balance between those kind of things and the things that I actually do enjoy doing. That kind of links to a question that I got asked, which was what's been the most surprising thing about this semester, and I'd say that the most most surprising thing has been how much I've enjoyed it. I feel like everyone talks about final year in a really negative way, and there's lots of expectations that it's going to be super stressful and super busy, and don't get me wrong, it definitely is busy and the workload has definitely increased, but that doesn't mean that it's not enjoyable. And I think incorporating those things into my routine and into my weekly routine really has made it more enjoyable. By the way, when I'm talking about things that I enjoy, it's mostly like yoga and just spending like self-care time with myself. I think that was really lacking in previous years. I never really spent that much time looking after myself. The most popular question I got asked, understandably, is what are your plans for when you finish university? Because I only have one semester left really of uni, or at least one semester of teaching, because there is technically a third semester, but it's just exams. But anyway, that was not the question. And then after I graduate, to be completely honest, I don't really know what my plan is. I'm in a very fortunate position where doing social media is my job, so I'm definitely gonna try and sustain that for a bit longer after uni. I'm not really sure how the transition of content is going to look yet, and if it's gonna work and if it's gonna be worthwhile, but that is definitely my plan. I've been doing this for 6 years now and I love it and I enjoy it so much, so it feels like such a shame to just throw that all out the window after I graduate, just because it's not the conventional path, I guess, after graduation. I also loved doing my study abroad year in Copenhagen, so my plan, I think, is to kind of replicate that and slow travel. So live in different places for 6 months at a time, a year at a time, 2 months at a time. I definitely don't think I'm going to be doing that forever, because that's not a very sustainable lifestyle, but I think while I'm young and straight after graduation, when I am fortunate enough that I still do have an income stream from this remote job, I guess, then that is my plan. And Sid will be joining me in that too, as he's also very lucky that he's got a remote job at the moment, so if that all goes well, then he'll be able to move around with that job too. I know that must be such a frustrating, wishy-washy answer for you, but to be completely honest, I don't really know. It's just going to be one of those things where it will work itself out when I get to it. At the moment, I'm just trying to get through final year and enjoy it as much as I can. Okay, my camera cut off, but we're back. The next question is, what has been the hardest thing about starting your dissertation? Let's talk about my dissertation a bit, because this has been a hot topic in my weekly vlogs, and to be honest, I still don't have a clue what is going on with it. Every time I seem to work on my dissertation, I seem to confuse myself even further, and I think that's probably been the hardest part about it, actually creating a whole coherent idea that works from the start to the end of it, because it seems as though I come up with an idea, I start doing the literature review, then realise the methodology doesn't work, or I start doing the methodology and then realise the analysis doesn't work. And I think also just not biting off more than I can chew has been hard, because my initial ideas, some of them were very ambitious, and I didn't really realise how ambitious they were until I tried to think about the methodology and think about the analysis. So I've definitely had to scale it back a bit and come up with simpler constructs and things like that that are easier to test. So the whole thing basically has been a lot harder than I imagined it to be, but I'm hoping that I'm on the right track now. Another popular question was basically, how do I stay motivated and how do I stay on top of lectures and assignments and everything else basically? How do I balance it all as a uni student? And I probably sound like a broken record when I answer this question, but genuinely the way that I do it all is a routine. I have to plan when I'm going to do everything, otherwise I just won't do any of it. I think if you're doing things on an ad hoc basis, as in you're waking up in the morning and you're going, what am I going to do today? And you're deciding there and then. It's a lot harder to motivate yourself than if you wake up and it's already planned out what you're going to do that day and your timetable is already planned out, and then all you have to do is go through the motions rather than starting from scratch, I guess. So I hope that makes sense. For me, I think a lot of my motivation just stems from consistency. So I get up at the same time every day, I do my morning routine in the same amount of time that I usually do it, and then from 9 to 5, I just work. And because I'm so used to doing that every single day, I don't really have to motivate myself to do it because it's sort of like, well, what else would I be doing in that time? And anything else that I do need to do, I'll then do after I've done that in the evening, where my time is a little bit more ad hoc. So I would really recommend, if you don't have one already, just kind of sketching out everything that you've got on your plate, writing it down, putting it on Notion or a digital planner, whatever works for you, and then trying to slot it into a realistic routine that you can follow on a daily basis. And this has also really helped me just not feel too overwhelmed this semester, because I kind of have a rule with myself that unless I really need to, I will just work between 9 to 5, and I found that it helps manage my work a lot better, because once it reaches that 5 o'clock mark, I just have to finish, and it means that I'm balancing my time a lot more, because then I have much more restful and relaxing evenings and I feel more energized to do it again the next day, rather than if I had worked for 12 hours straight with no break, then I'm gonna have almost no motivation to do it the next day. What advice would you give to a first year at Leeds? However, I'm gonna give advice for first years in general, and it kind of summarizes everything that I've been saying in this video, and that is to do uni in the way that works best for you. I think so many people, myself included, come to university with a whole host of completely unrealistic expectations and frankly myths that have been spread on social media, or it's been romanticized and glamorized, and I think as a result of that, a lot of people, once again myself included, put a lot of pressure on themselves to be someone and act in a way that just isn't themselves. And this also links to another question that I got asked about biggest regret within uni, and I don't really like the phrasing regret. I don't think I regret anything in life because everything happened for a reason, but one thing that I wish I'd known sooner, and this is why I'm giving it as advice, is to not waste my time trying to be someone that I'm not, because now I am having the best time that I have ever had, frankly, at university, because I'm living my life in the way that I want to live it, and I'm not trying to adhere to all of these really unrealistic expectations about what I feel I should be doing. So even if what you enjoy is potentially going against the grain and is maybe unconventional for a uni student to be doing, if that brings you happiness, then that is absolutely what you should pursue when you're at uni. And I think also, don't worry if that takes time. I don't think anyone that's just started uni is gonna have it all worked out super soon. It's taken me 4 years to get to this point, so please take that as some reassurance that even if something doesn't feel quite right at the moment, it will probably work itself out over time if you do make sure that you are prioritizing what makes you happiest. I hope that all made sense. I feel like I just rambled at the camera then, and I think on that note I will probably end this Q&A here. If you do have any further questions, then feel free to leave them down below in the comments and I'll try to get back to you, or make sure to follow me on Instagram, because I often ask for questions on my story that I might then answer on my story too, rather than in a video. I hope you all have an amazing holiday break. Make sure to take some time time for yourself to relax and re-energize. Even if you've got loads of work to do, you will come back feeling so much more productive and motivated if you do. And I will see you all in the new year when the weekly vlogs return. So make sure to like and subscribe, and also follow my Instagram and my TikTok to see all of the content that I am posting in the next 3 weeks when I'm not on YouTube. Bye!